81-21. Ghetto Sports. Ghetto Sports? Ghetto? What is it?
Yeah, Ghetto Sports
Ghetto
for
Sports.
Manny.
We're back with my man Manny. You know, I was talking
What's up, Al?
to Moody. Remember Moody, right? Yeah. He was
Yeah.
like, yo, you did a show with Rambus? You ain't tell me they call you Rambus. You ain't tell me that, bro. Rambus, huh?
Yeah, you know, those Laker fans out there, you know, they gave me that nickname, Kurt Rambus. So I'm, Rambus,
Yeah, okay. So, it's a week before the Super Bowl.
That's right.
As we know, it's Kansas City, and it's San Francisco 49ers, right? Talk to me about it.
A rematch of 5 years ago.
A rematch of 5 years ago. But before we get into that, I know you have some things you want to put out there, like LT.
Yes, this is LT. Today's LT birthday. Turned 65 years old. The greatest defensive player in NFL history. Bar none.
Now,
he is the.
Now, in case
bar.
you don't know who LT is, could you, tell us exactly who he is?
All right. LT, Lawrence Taylor of the New York Football Giants.
Lawrence Taylor.
Okay, it's nothing better. Lawrence Taylor. He the one who changed everything. Number 56. He the one who made left tackles get paid because he bum rushed the quarterback, and they had to pay these tackles because he was running over running backs, tight ends. They tried to block him with a tackle. He was running them over. So they said they had to pay these guys, or the quarterback will be destroyed. So they changed the rules because this one man,
right? So
Lawrence Taylor.
Happy birthday, LT. New York Giant, greatest linebacker to ever play the game. Right now, they trying to say Michael Parsons is knocking on that door. Not yet. Hold on. Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Hold on.
Not even close.
Another order of business I know that you had was, it's the anniversary of something coming up, or is it today?
Yes, it was yesterday. 16 years ago.
What happened 16 years ago?
The New York Giants, the New York Football Giants defeated the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl. They said the biggest upset in the Super Bowl.
Was that
history.
Eli?
When the Giants, was
that
Eli.
Plexico? Oh, it was those guys, right? Who was who?
That's those guys. Michael Strahan finally.
You mean the guy?
Yeah, he finally
the guy
got
that's
his
on
ring.
Good Morning America and all that?
Yes, he got his ring and retired.
He played football?
I'm
just messing with you, man. Okay.
I know.
New York Giants won their first Super Bowl yesterday, 16 years ago. How does that sound? Yesterday.
Yeah, that was their third Super Bowl.
Yesterday, 16 years ago, but first Super Bowl for Michael Strahan.
First Super Bowl for Michael Strahan. First Super Bowl for Eli Manning. Well, he got 2 Super Bowls.
First Super Bowl for Plexico also. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
We all know the trouble that Plexico got into, but we're not doing that right now.
We're not doing that. We're just gonna big him up. He put that touchdown in the corner.
Yeah.
Brought it home for New York. So he's always a star.
Yeah, then he went and shot himself. Okay. So Super Bowl, let's talk Super Bowl, bro. Now,
no problem.
Me and the wifey, we already did one. We sort of, we talked about our predictions and things like that. But what I would like for us to do is, how did this happen, sir? How did San Francisco 49ers get to the Super Bowl versus how did Kansas City get to the Super Bowl? What did you see?
All right. Okay, I'm going to go with the AFC first. Okay? Kansas City. Okay? They was a number 3rd seed in the AFC. Bottom line, everyone said that the receivers was trash. They keep on dropping the ball, and this is the problems that Kansas City had. They said they was not going to get to the Super Bowl. But you have to remember, they have number 15 there. And number 15, until you take him down, he is the number 1 quarterback in NFL.
My homeboy.
And while he got a shot, he will take his team to the promised land.
My homeboy. Okay.
Yes.
Did you think that with them beating Baltimore, did you think that was luck? Was it an any given Sunday thing, or did you expect Baltimore?
No,
Okay,
no. I think with them beating Baltimore, it was more of this. The Chiefs had a better
yeah,
game plan than Baltimore. Baltimore did not step up right away. And with Kansas City, you got to put that foot on their neck right away. And they did. They gave Kansas City the ball first. Kansas City went down there and scored, and they kept the pressure on
okay.
Baltimore all day. They did not let my man Jackson run. You know, I was hoping that Jackson got to the Super Bowl, but he didn't. He'll probably get his second MVP, but until he's take that next step, there'll always be questions about Jackson in the playoffs.
See, here's the thing. I thought I'm with you. Like, I thought Baltimore got out coached. I thought once I saw Kansas City sending those blitz 1, 2, 3, first, second down, third down, they were coming. So what I didn't like was the fact that Lamar, in my opinion, he seemed to hold on to wanting to be a pocket passer. I thought he should have got out of there. He should have got out of there, man. You know,
he should have got out there. When he decided to get out there, it was 1 second too late. So it was too late. And he tried. You know, like I said, he tried. If they would have got that touchdown before the guy fumbled it out the end zone, it might have changed
I'm going
the
there
game.
next. I'm going there next. Zay Flowers. That's who we talking about. Zay Flowers.
Yes, Zay Flowers.
Man, you get that close to that end zone, tuck the ball. Tuck it. I know you want it, so you're trying to reach out and everything. No, tuck the ball. Then
because you'd have been there on the 1 yard line. They strengthened the running game. They would have had 4 chances to run the ball in. But when you're in the action, you're playing right there, you're not thinking right there. But Snead was thinking. He's a pro, he's an all pro, and he hit the ball out. You got to be thinking at all times. You might be beat, but if you give up on the play, the other team scores a touchdown. If you keep on playing, you can make a difference, and Snead make a difference with that play.
The taunting call that Zay Flowers got, that made no sense.
Yeah, it made no sense, but like you said, you know, they put this in a couple of years ago, and I think it's when he stood over him, but when he dropped the ball next to the guy, that was the flag right there.
Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the call by the refs made no sense. I'm saying the actions by Zay Flowers made no sense, brother. You in the AFC championship. You got to be big. Yeah, you in the AFC championship. Now there was a holding call on Likely. There was a big holding call on Likely, but I thought Baltimore was going to take it. I predicted Baltimore to do it. I think they got totally outcoached. I do. I think it was a case of bright lights, big stage, man. Bright lights, big stage. They wasn't ready.
Yeah, I think with Baltimore and with Lamar, each time they get in the playoffs, they take a step. So remember when he first got the playoffs, they lost that. They lost it in the wild card round. They got to the next year. They got to the division round. They won. Then all of a sudden they lost again to get to the championship game. This year they elevated and got to the championship game. So each time he gets to the playoffs, they win the next time. But it gotta be consistent. Like, see, look at Mahomes. He's been in a starter for 6 years. He's been in a championship game for 6 years. You know, consistency. He is, like I said, he's the bar. And to overcome him, you got to get through him.
Right. You got to get through him. Now, I've been seeing on the talk shows, there's a lot of talk about right now in his career. Do you compare Mahomes with Brady?
No, you really can't. You can't compare him to Brady. Right
at this point in his,
they should compare. They should be comparing him more to maybe Troy Aikman, because remember Troy and his crew within a 5-year period won the 3 Super Bowls for the Cowboys.
I think they don't make that comparison because stat wise, yardage, touchdowns, this and that. I think Mahomes is well beyond what Troy Aikman was doing. I think so.
I know, but remember, Troy Aikman was a team. It was a triplets. Him, Irving,
Emmett,
and
yeah.
Emmett. There was a triplet, so it was a team effort. So it was not just the quarterback, because you had a big name at running back, and a big name at wide receiver. See, they compare Patrick to Brady because they saying Brady never had a big name wide receiver before Moss.
Right.
You know, so he did it with lesser help. So that's what he's saying with Mahomes. He's doing it with lesser help. But remember, these guys are not lesser help because they won the Super Bowl last year. This is the same core that he has from last year. The only difference is he has Rice now. He has Juju last year. That's the only difference. It's the same wide receiver core.
I don't know. I was never a Tom Brady fan. You know, I used to, hear him, watch him here and there. I'm going to be honest, the only time I watched him when the Giants spanked him. That's it. I didn't really care for the New England Patriots because, when we was growing up, man, New England was trash. They were trash.
It was trash. And remember, they won the first 3 Super Bowls with pure defense. It was pure defense. It was a defensive scheme, pure defense. And they had that controversy about them cheating, Spygate. So that was the first 3 Super Bowls. Okay, then the last 3 Super Bowls was after his 2 defeats to the Giants. Then he got lucky with the Falcons.
He got lucky.
The Rams and the Falcons, the Rams, and the Seahawks. Because the Seahawks should have ran the ball, they would have beat Tom Brady. The Falcons should have ran the ball, they would have beat Tom Brady. And if Cooper Kupp was playing that year with the Rams, because he was hurt, if he was playing that year with the Rams, it would have been a different story. But if was the 5th, we'd all be drunk. But they got those Super Bowls.
Let me say this before we move on. I got 2 nonsense things to throw in. When they beat Atlanta, was Dan Quinn the coach? Okay, I want to leave that right there. Stick that right there. The next thing, Travis Kelce. So the fade is now called the Kelce. Have you heard about that? Okay, that's what we're doing. Now let's circle back. Dan Quinn. Dallas didn't do what they were supposed to do and they got kicked out of playoffs. We're not going to talk about that, right? But I always said that, hey, he came from Atlanta, man. He's done some things like that before. Great coach. But now he's the coach of the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
In the same
division. See what happened. The second thing that I brought up was, we've been rocking fades and parts and half moons and all this stuff our entire life. Now it's the Kelce.
I know it's Kelce. I know, maybe because the Swifties got behind Kelce and they made it a name.
There you go. So on the AFC side, we got Kansas City. On the NFC side, we had an AFC championship with San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. How did that look to you?
Yes. Detroit had that game. Detroit let them back in the game. San Francisco came back from 17 down. If their coach, I know their coach is always talking about he's a wild card, he's a gambler sometimes. If he wanted to gamble, he should have went for it before the first half, before he kicked the field goal, went for the touchdown instead of the field goal. He played it safe. But then in the second half, he didn't play it safe and tried to go for it on every 4th down and fail, giving San Francisco a short field, giving them a time to come back. And that's what happened. Before at halftime, all the pimps in Detroit was packing their bags, ready to go.
They had their Gators on.
They had the Gators on. They had their coats. They had their fedoras. They had the feathers.
And what happened?
Hat,
and what happened?
Ready. Oh, they got. They was disappointed once again. The Lions had a great run, but they were disappointed. Now, the 49ers, they got a great team. They got a good offensive line, one of the premier running backs. They wide receivers, Debo and the crew. You give them the ball, give them space, they will spank you. They keep on saying Brock Purdy is a game manager. All quarterbacks are game managers, but he made a difference because he ran on Detroit in the second half. They wasn't ready for that.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk
made
about
a difference.
That. Right, you're right. All quarterbacks are game managers, but then some possess a skill where they can switch it up on you. Now, there have been some quarterbacks that are game manager and would not venture outside of that pocket to save their lives. Right? He did something in that last game that elevated him in that game, which is he didn't stay in the pocket. He ran. I think he got a touchdown, right?
Not too sure. Don't remember him scoring a touchdown. He might have.
But
I know he ran. He had like 50. He had like 57 or 58 yards running. You know, if you took his his yards running last week, you'd have made some money.
There was something that happened. You know, I like to throw these little tidbits in. I was reading something today where Warren Sapp was telling Cam Newton he needed to be quiet. As far as talking about Brock Purdy was like the 10th best player on his team. This is where I get confused at, man. So Warren Sapp, I like him, but sometimes he talks too much. I like him, but when you come out and you say something against Cam Newton, so are you telling me that Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Cam Newton? Is that what he's saying?
No, I don't think he's saying that. I think he's saying that Cam is talking too much. See, Cam likes to promote. See, Cam throws things out there, and it sparks the audience so they can listen to his podcast. So he's going to say something ridiculous so everyone can react.
Okay, well, let me jump in here. By me bringing up Warren Sapp and what he said, I'm doing the same thing, so I get it, right? So I'll go down and I'll tag Warren Sapp, and I might even put a tagline saying Warren Sapp said something stupid. I get all that. But the question I'm asking you is, sometimes do you think sometimes don't cross the line, especially when it comes to us? I'm saying black people. Sometimes shut up. Okay. Right? Because if I had to take Cam Newton right now, Heisman Trophy, MVP. He made it to the Super Bowl. He lost.
Number one pick.
All of that. Right now, I looked it up. He has
national
75
champion.
rushing touchdowns. He's up there.
Yes, he's up there.
I would take Cam. I wouldn't take Brock, but it's because of my preference. So my thing was, if a quarterback that used to play, Cam Newton, I'm going to say that, Cam Newton, if he wants to critique other quarterbacks, what's the problem? Right?
I guess because he lost in the big game. If he would have won in the big game and been a difference maker, he would have a lot to say. But since he lost that game, and in that game, Peyton Manning was a game manager. He didn't have the arm that he used to have, but he was smart enough to bring his team down the field, get them in the right position to win. Okay. And with the defense that Denver had, they came after Cam and got to Cam. So that was the difference. If Cam would have won that game, people really couldn't say anything. But since he lost that game, and in that game, Peyton Manning was a game manager, Cam, it looks like he's got solid grades.
Well, let me ask you this, because we still talking San Francisco and Brock Purdy, but this is a side note right here. You saw that Super Bowl, just like I saw that Super Bowl.
Yes.
Did you think the Carolina Panthers had a fair shot? Let me add some more to it.
Yeah, they had a fair shot.
Let me add some more to it.
They had a fair shot. If Cam would have jumped on that ball right away, if they didn't get he got a safety in the end zone, I don't think he was the bright lights might have been too much for him at that time. That's like when we keep on talking about the bright lights for
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson might have been too bright last week. I think that game, the bright lights was too much for
Okay, I'm
Cam.
just
And
introducing it out there. Do you think Peyton Manning received a goodbye gift? I'll put it that way.
no, I don't think so. I don't think he's had a goodbye gift. I think Peyton and Denver deserved the champion, and they went out and took
They
it.
deserved it. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Let's do it like this. I know you.
And this
Yeah,
ball
I
field
see
picture,
it.
though.
But right now, talk about the game with San Francisco because my wire is broken. So
Okay. The game was San Francisco. Like I said, they came back on the Lions. The Lions had that game. First half, it was up 24-7. They had that game. And they let San Francisco back in by the risk-taking on fourth downs, the miscues they had, the fumbles, and they let the Lions back. I mean, they let the 49ers back in the game, and the 49ers pounced on that chance. Okay? So they got there. They won. We cannot deny the 49ers their flowers. They was the number one seed in the NFC all year, and they kept it up. We can't deny that. You know, at one time we were talking about the Eagles, maybe the Cowboys, you know, the Lions. They beat all of them. They beat the Cowboys during the year. They beat the Lions in the championship game. They beat the Eagles. Okay, they beat the Eagles during the year. And the week before that, Green Bay could have won that game, but they lost it. So they came back 2 weeks in a row. So we had to give it up to the 49ers. They earned their way to the Super Bowl. But we will give our picks towards the end of the show to see who you like, who I like. And if we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, I'm going to say right here and right now, a running back might be MVP in the Super Bowl. Okay, you talking about McCaffrey and Pacheco. Okay, I think McCaffrey, just like his father, made it to the Super Bowl. His father won 2 Super Bowls. It's just his time to shine. I'm thinking that number 10 for the Chiefs will be a difference in the Super Bowl. And the other guys that's been there, they number 1 pick for a couple of years ago, that's been on the bench for a while, he will make a difference in the Super Bowl. I think the running game is going to be what we're going to see in the Super Bowl. These 2 runners, or which team has the best running game, will win the Super Bowl.
Okay, so with me, I'm going to run my mouth for a little while. I like San Francisco in the Super Bowl. And the reason I like them in the Super Bowl is because of what you were just talking about, which is McCaffrey. It's here now. And he been busting his ass since Carolina. Like you mentioned, pedigree. His dad is 1-2. He's here now.
Yes.
Because think about it, the life of the span of a running back in the NFL might be, I think I saw something, 3 to 5 years. So with that being said, he's here now. So he coming, right? Then there's this other guy, number 19, Mr. Deebo Samuels. Tough.
Yes.
Then there's this other guy, Ayuk. Tough, right? And then you said,
yeah, but sometimes Ayuk
he can.
disappear.
But this is a big stage, man. This is a big stage. How many times has San Francisco went to the NFC Championship in the past 6 years?
I believe this is like they went. I believe 3 years.
It's been quite a bit.
4 years.
So here it is. They have a great coach, Shanahan, right? Kyle Shanahan, great coach.
Yes.
Great coach. Now let's talk defense. They have some dogs on that defense, man, especially at that linebacker position. And I think that San Francisco is strong enough to say, and smart enough to say, we're not going to let you punch us in our mouth first. I think so.
I hear you. They got 2 bookends from the Ohio State with
Chase
Chase
and
and
Bosa.
Bosa. Number 50 with number 54 in the middle is no
Warner.
joke.
Yeah.
Yep, they got some great bookends. I mean, in their secondary, their corners are excellent. But I'm telling you, Mahomes can get out of trouble. Kelsey, for some reason, always find an opening. And Rice right now is coming to the table. But I think what I'm telling you, Pacheco going to run hard, and if they get to the outside and run to the outside on San Francisco, along with their other running backs, and if they get some key catches, not just from Kelsey, but the rest of their tight ends, and a couple of their wide receivers besides Rice, you might get Sky Moore in there. I heard that Tony might even play. So let's see what happens.
So you told me a minute ago, you said if was a fifth, right?
Yes.
Right. If Rice, if Pacheco, right? Then you started naming some guys down the bench. Let's go back.
Yes.
I said Debo. I said Ayuk. Okay. I didn't say Kittles.
No, you said Kittles.
To me, Kittle and Kelsey, no, I'm not saying record-wise. They're the same type of tight end.
Yeah. They come from tight end
same
university.
type. So yes. I'm picking San Francisco.
I hear you. And if San Francisco wins, that'd be a big accomplishment for San Francisco, for Brock Purdy, for McCaffrey, and their coach. Yeah. And their coach. What's their coach name? Shanahan?
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, right? And you said it a while ago that the Falcons lost the Super Bowl when
Dan Quinn.
What's his name? It's the coach of the Dan Quinn was the coach of the
Falcons, right?
Falcons. Now he's the coach. Now he's the coach of the Commanders.
Yes.
And Dan Quinn was there, but who was his offensive coordinator?
Wasn't it Shanahan?
Shanahan. Yes, it was. It was Shanahan.
Okay.
It was Shanahan. So I'm gonna give Shanahan his flowers and everything because he's been consistent.
Right.
He's been consistent. But to me, Pat has been consistent.
Okay, let me say this. By no way, I'm a New York Giant fan. I don't give a who won. I'm not endorsing them, but for the purpose of our talk, so somebody don't look at this and go, "Oh, he's jumping shit." No, sir.
Yeah.
I just picked San Francisco. Another part of me. Let me give you a speech. You see,
go ahead.
I'm born and raised in Selma, Alabama, bro. I'm walking distance from the Edmund Pettus Bridge. The bridge where they marched over Bloody Sunday, my bad. My dad was in that. Brown Chapel AME Church is right behind. Well, I don't know if it's AME, but Brown Chapel is right behind my grandmother's house. I should go over there, I do everything.
Okay.
So I'm really pro-black. I'm not anti-white, but I'm pro-black.
Yes.
And that's what has me in the air. I want Mahomes to break everything as a black quarterback.
Yes.
I want him to do it for Doug Williams. You see what I'm saying? I want him to do that.
Yes.
So I'm in the air, but I have a soft spot for McCaffrey as a fan, football, right?
Yes, as a football fan.
And then next is the New York Giants. I mean, the Giants are an NFC East team. Of course, the San Francisco 49ers are an NFC West team, but they still NFC. I'm having a tough time, Mr. Frazier. I'm having a tough time.
All right. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Now, I like just like you, I like McCaffrey. I think he's a dog. Okay? Pat is my boy. I like Pat. You should like Pat, too, because his father was a Met fan, and you're a Met fan.
Allegedly. His father wasn't a Met fan. He was a Met. He was a Met.
Yeah, he was a Met.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Met. He was a pitcher. He was a Met. Okay, that's what Pat got his arm from. But like I say, like I said, I bleed blue too. I bleed blue every day. I'm going to
Right.
represent the Giants. Okay? But for some reason, since Pat has stepped on this stage, he has been that guy. And to beat Pat, you have to beat him up. When Tampa Bay beat them and Tom Brady got his 7th ring, they beat Pat up because he didn't have an offensive line. And he was a little gimpy.
Right.
They beat him up. Just like when the Giants beat the Patriots, we beat Tom up. And that's what you got to do to Pat. You got to beat him up. But if you give him any type of break, he's going to make a difference. And that's what I see in Pat. I think it's going to be a great game. That's why I said I think it's going to come down.
All right. Who you got, bro? Stop beating around the bush. Who you got?
You're going for the 49ers. I'm going for Kansas City.
I'm raising my hand. I'm saying 49ers. You're saying Kansas City. I don't do points over under. I don't do that. So I'm bad with that. You want to do a point spread or something like that?
No, I'm just going for straight win.
Okay. So we'll be back here on episode 3 of 8121 Ghetto Sports. And
that's right.
We'll be back. And it'll probably be after the Super Bowl, of course. And
that's right.
We are Giants fans. We're not, we're not coming back with San Francisco or Kansas City jackets and hats on. That's not happening. That's not happening. What kind of jacket you got on here, man?
Oh, see, it says Ghetto Sports with Manny.
I got to get one of those, man.
All right. Yeah, you got to get one of these. Ghetto Sports with Manny. And like I said, I bleed giant blue. I believe in us. I think we'll bounce back. We'll bounce back. We'll be there. To me, we got to sign Saquon, though. We got to keep Saquon, but we will be there. And like I said, I'm going for Kansas City. We'll see. But this is your month, too, because this is Big Al's month. Your birthday's coming up.
How you know that, bro?
I don't know. Is your birthday
How you know that?
Your birthday's after the Super Bowl, right? The day after the Super Bowl.
Wait a minute.
So
what day is the Super Bowl on?
Yeah, you're my dog, Al. You're my dog. I remember these.
What day is the Super Bowl
on? What's it? Super Bowl is on the Super Bowl is on the
12th, 11th,
11th. Your birthday is on
14th.
The 14th.
There you go.
You got all those. You got all those cards around.
My mother used to say. My mother used to say her 6-pound, 3.5 ounce Valentine baby. I couldn't stand it then, but I miss it now. Cause she's gone. But it is what it is. But hey, it's been real, bro.
It's been real, man.
Hopefully, when we come back, we can break down a great game. A great game where, it was a shootout. So you can sit back and laugh when you're watching the game with your homies or your wife, and you can say, this dude said San Francisco, but I know he want Kansas City to win. And also, I just saw today, rest in peace, Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Apollo Creed. He passed away.
Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers. He played for the Raiders. And like I said, Super Bowl's in Vegas, where the Raiders' hometown is, and they said the Raiders will give him a tribute. So rest in peace, Carl Weathers. He was, I believe, a defensive back for the Raiders. He played, I believe, seven. He played 7 games starting, but he was came off the bench. He was there with Madden. Madden told him, he's too sensitive. That's why he went into acting. But he was a great guy.
Great guy. And I want to throw this out there. We all know him as Apollo Creed. We all know him from Predator. But I might be showing my age, but I know him as Action Jackson. That's what I know him as. Yeah, that's what I know him as.
That's right.
And the next thing, I hope this doesn't affect the Super Bowl, but I saw Patrick Mahomes Sr. got locked up. DUI. He got locked. DUI. And they said it's his 3rd one. I hope that doesn't affect the Super Bowl.
Yes, I hope it doesn't affect the Super Bowl. Because remember, when Kansas City lost that Super Bowl, Big Red, they coach, son, got into a car accident and everything, and that threw everything off a little bit. Okay. So these little minor things
they can contribute.
Can affect.
People. Yeah. So My brother, I smell my chicken upstairs.
Yes. Okay, go eat, have fun. I'll holler at you in a little while.
8121, Ghetto Sports,
Ghetto
out.
Sports. Peace.